Well, hello, my sexy true art believers. I hope you're doing well today. This is Pierson here, and I am the #1 live art streamer in the world, and you are watching 500 days of drawing. It is day 402. We're starting a brand new series, not even brand new. We're just going straight to we're adding an extra 100 days to what initially started out as 100 days of drawing. Now it was 200, then I went to 200, then I went to 300, and I finished 400. Now I'm starting up to do 500 days of drawing. And today we're going to be doing figure drawing. We're going to do some figure drawings for about 30 minutes. We're going to do about 30 minutes worth of figure drawing, and I'm going to talk about stuff, and mainly I'm going to talk about some things and stuff and some things and stuff. Anyways, let's get today's art stream started, shall we? Alrighty then. All right. I hope you're doing well today. I am doing well. So let's get everything in order here. Let's get everything in order. So let's remove some stuff around. Yep. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I hate saying that, but I'm just trying to get everything sorted. I never have everything fully ready at the time of starting these live streams. So yeah, let's get the. I don't know if I want to use that brush. Let's do the sketching brushes. Let's do a scratchy again. And oh man, I am so far off. I don't even have every. Ah, gosh, I am not acting like the world famous artist. I don't know. There we go. Quick poses. I need to move some things around again. Well, so I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. We're doing well. We're all doing well. It's good to be alive. It's good to be here. It's good to be, excuse me, doing these live streams. And we're going to be doing some figurative work. So I'm going to do 1 minute gesture drawings for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to probably move up to 3 minutes and then maybe do 1 5-minute. I don't know. We'll see. And let's begin today. Let's begin right now. And of course, the one figure I get is probably the hardest. So what I want to do is we're going to do an action line. And you're wondering, like, what's this person doing? Well, he's doing like a handstand and he's like arched. So I'm going to start out with, they say to start with the head, but sometimes I like to start out with the torso. So we're going to start with a block shape for the torso like this. And then we're going to start with another line to kind of dictate the hips. And we're going to put like a block shape for like the hips. I only have a minute, so you're not going to get much done here. And the reason why I am doing this, I want to kind of practice this idea of doing the same thing over and over again. So I want to establish the head, the torso at the very beginning before I begin even like doing all the other stuff. So once I can get that mastered, yeah. So that was a difficult one. Oh my gosh. I apparently I have all clothed figures. So now here we go. We're going to start with the head, start with a block like shape for the head. And then we're going to do the torso. He's kind of shrugging a little bit, right? A block for the torso. And we're going to do a block for like the hips here. And we're going to start out with, he's like evenly balanced. We're going to do some we're going to do some sticks for the legs. And then an arm, like a line for the arm, another line for the other arm. This actually would be a really cool like drawing because it's like a samurai Santa. All right, so now where do you go from here? Let's start out by adding a little bit more like a block form for the leg here, another block form for the leg here, and that's it. It's been a little while, so Here we go. With this guy's, yeah, we're gonna start drawing. So today, man, I woke up 2 hours late from 2 hours late, and it was very frustrating. So because I woke up 2 hours late, I wasn't able to do the things that I do in the morning. So I have a lot of things I get done before like 5, you know, and before like 7 a.m. And I wasn't able to get them done. And I was finding myself like, what's the term? Just like lollygagging around or like procrastinating. Like I guess procrastinating, right? I was procrastinating. Um, and it was really starting to grind on me. I was getting in my head too much, um, and I was trying to, I guess, come up with like mental excuses to not do things. Like I was really trying to rationalize my actions of being lazy because I stayed up really late last night. It's kind of like I, the Sunday really is my weekend, and the Sunday at 8 o'clock is my weekend, and I just want to kind of like sometimes I want to enjoy it and just like sit down and like have actually be a normal American where I watch television and where I do nothing. I don't have any expectations of me for 4 hours. I don't have anything that I need to do for the foreseeable future. And I was just trying my best to kind of just have an evening to myself. And I know that sounds kind of weird, uh, because a lot like the average American watches like 8 hours of like 8 hours of television, 8 hours of whatever a day, or it's like 4 hours, okay. Uh, and I I do I probably I'm at least half that, and the that half is like another half of that is I'm actually not even listening. I'm not even sitting down. It's like me passively listening to whatever it is I'm listening to. And I just stayed up real late, and because of that, this whole day has been like a cluster. It's been very, very like it's just hasn't been working well. And as I say, don't dwell on meaningless stuff. Like I don't know, I can't explain it, but like I had this state of melancholy where I was like overthinking things, and I was trying to procrastinate not doing what I normally do because I didn't feel like doing it. Like I really didn't feel like it. There's days that I don't feel like doing things and I just do them with no questions asked. I do them so easily that it's just like second nature. But there's other days like today where I don't want to do that thing, and I will fight it to the end. I will fight not wanting to do that thing forever. I will try my best to find ways to not do that thing. And it really does. I can see it happening. Like I see myself getting to that point. These are like some really cool figures, but like I don't have enough time to kind of get them in. There's a lot of like kicking motions. So they're like really kind of angular, you know? Um, so they got some nice angles to them, but I just don't have the time to kind of work on it, you know? And I don't know. I got to think about like these ideas. So this is what I've been trying to do for this. I want to try to do this for the next 100 days for these live streams. Is actually talk about some of the things that I think about, as opposed to like actually have the theme be that. But sometimes what happens is when I have a theme like right now is I typically don't have like I don't have much to say about it because the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes of it is me navigating through the idea, is me kind of figuring out what I need to like talk about. So it's like me brainstorming. So you like when you see me do these live streams and I'm talking about these ideas, I'm just doing a giant brainstorm session. It's it's like why don't you understand these things? Why don't you have this stuff written down? Like, well, I'm brainstorming. I'm brainstorming this idea. And if I can brainstorm it and come up with some solution or some sort of like valid point, I think, right, that I think it was worth it, even though like for the first 20 or 15, 20 minutes, I'm like stumbling through the thought process. And I think you're allowed that. And I think we're so used to people sounding so sure and everything. They're always so sure and positive. They just know because they're an expert in that thing. They just know it. They just know. They're always so positive and sure about that thing. And probably they don't know anything about that topic that they're talking about. They're just BSing the entire time, but it sounds good, you know. This sucks. This one's going to be a sucky one. This guy's really skinny dude, and he's doing like a handstand. Um, not the type of, not the type of the, not the type of figure I want to draw in 30 in 1 minute. So we're just going to start out with keep it simple. We're going to start with the head. We're going to do the headline, like this. And then that's it. We're not going to get that done. We're 1 minute drawing. All right, this one I can do. This one I can do. This one's a good one to work with. It's not overly actiony. I can sense the action line. There's a lot of simplicity to it. I can get the torso in there. But normally for the first 20 minutes of these live streams, I'm like just bouncing around concepts that I don't fully grasp. And the only way to really grasp them is to talk about them a little bit, is to kind of talk about them. And through talking about them, there is an understanding. There's a learning process, a learning curve. But as I was saying today, I I kind of failed. I dropped the ball. Like I dropped my the like the metaphorical, symbolical ball with my some of my like own personal goals, right? And there we go. That would have been a nice one to start too. So now we're going to move ahead and go to 3 minutes. Here we're going to do 3 minutes. But before I'm going to take a sip of coffee. So now we're going to do 3 minutes, right? So 3 minute poses. So I might get a little bit more, but we'll see. I'm gonna do 10 of them. Actually, I'm gonna do as many as I can within the 30-minute time frame. So about, I don't know, 6 maybe. And great. I want to skip this one. I want to skip it so bad. I want to skip this one so bad. Okay, but I have to refuse. So the guy's lying down. I'm gonna draw a circle for the head and another circle or an oval for like the bottom of his chin, because that's basically a chin that I'm not gonna have time to draw. And then a block like shape that is going to be right here for what essentially is going to be the torso. I can't see a lot of his body because it's like all in shadow. So we're going to do a block shape for the torso. Kind of put this right here. And then we're going to do another block shape for the hips right here, or for the like the bottom, like, the bottom of the torso. And then we're going to do some curvy lines for the legs. He's doing this is a weird angle. I'm not going to lie. This is a weird position for this guy to be in. Like he's laying down, he's got his legs crisscrossed and all kinds of stuff. And it's just I don't like these photos. I hate laying down photos. They're just the worst to work with. And I never get them done because even though I have more time, they're just a little too complex for the time frame. There's typically the lying down poses have the torso's getting it's getting some weight in areas that stretch the body in an odd fashion, and it becomes kind of hard to see what is happening uh, on a more micro level. And like I can't see this guy's legs here, right here. He's got his other leg right here. We're just gonna kind of draw a little calf, and I can't see his foot. I think his foot's kind of doing like a foot thing right here. Like it's kind of arched. I can't tell. It's too dark. Yeah, I don't have no. This is going to be a bad photo. I apologize. Actually, I don't. I can't do anything about that. The only way to get better is to do these things that are difficult. And the thing is, I'm trying to do to kind of capture this figure. Where's the backside of his body? I can't tell. In a relatively short amount of time. Anyways, lying down poses suck. And I don't know, is he like doing? He could be doing like a chin up or a crunch, and that's done. That one sucked. I apologize. Actually, I don't. I keep saying that. All right, this one might be a little better because it's a sitting down pose, and it's a little bit easier to understand. The foreshortening is easier to work with too. So we're gonna put a block for the torso like this, and then we're gonna do another. Let's do like a circular thing for the hips, and we're gonna do a line for the neck like that, and then his arms are right here. Like his arms literally are bunched up toward his on his torso, and then they're kind of going up like this toward his face. And he's got a little. This is stuff for his hands. Let's just say that those are his hands. We're not even getting the shape right. And he's sitting down. He's wearing pants. And then his leg is doing this. This is going to be a bad drawing day today. Another thing, don't worry if your drawings suck. Just don't. You're going to have good days and bad days. And if you're like me, your days are going to be a lot bad. They're just always bad. It takes me a while to really get warmed up, and that's what these drawing sessions are. Is me kind of warming up to drawing. I can't jump into rendering things. All right, and his foot is like that. His other foot is off the page. We're not going to worry about that. Now let's give a cylinder type shape for the wrist here, like that, and so forth. Why is this? He's got tape on his nipples. What the? Oh, that's funny. I'm like, looking, what are those? I was like, what are those white things on his chest there? Like, he's got tape on his nipples, man. That's weird. He's doing, his hands are doing some sort of like hand thing, like that. Anyway, so this is it. It's not bad for a 3 minute drawing. It's not great. I'm not gonna lie, it's not great. Um, I could definitely use more time. Um, and I don't want to keep drawing on it. So because we have like less than a minute, like 10 seconds, and that's it. And another one. So I found myself today really feeling down. Excuse me. Really feeling down today. Like I didn't want to do anything. Um, and part of it was like a like you know how like when you kind of fail yourself, like you have like a like some sort of thing that you wanted to get done and you didn't do it, and so you're like, well, now since I didn't do that, might as well not do this because why bother, right? You start getting in your like this weird psychological loop where you try to psych yourself out to like all these negative thoughts, right? And so that's what I was doing. I was basically psychologically making excuses for myself to why I wasn't doing some of the things that I should be doing. And it was very hard, man. I was really struggling today because I found that I was coming up with all these reasons to why I didn't want to do why I wasn't doing why I didn't want to do anything or why this wasn't happening and so forth. And it was they weren't reasons. They weren't really good reasons. It was just like, hey, let's just not do it, right? Or since you missed your time frame, because I do everything at a certain time frame, and if I miss that time frame, I kind of shut off. Like I psychologically shut myself off mentally because I feel like I failed myself. You know, I feel like I failed to achieve the simple goal of doing whatever I needed to do at a certain time frame. And if I can't do it at that time, it's like I might. It's like why even try to do that thing at all? You know, why try? You know, and so I got to that point where I just like thought to myself, why even try? Awesome. Go potty, you. And I was just like, this one's gonna, if I had more time, I'd actually would spend more time on this because this was gonna be an interesting one. There's like a lot of cool things happening. It's like a difficult pose. Like he's facing back, his head's right here. You don't even see it really. You just see like the outline of his hair. Technically, his arm, there's another arm right here, right? Uh, technically, there's another arm right here. Um, so that was gonna be a good one, but now it's gone. So now I got this one. I got a bunch of weird ones. Literally, I'm not gonna do the bottom of the torso because it's just not gonna work. It's not worth it. So this guy is like doing a stomach vacuum, and he's arching his back, and then he's holding his on his. I'm always getting these like weird, um, like these weird ones. These like just absolutely weird, um, like poses here, and weird poses, man. They're interesting, but I don't think they're really good when you're doing when you're doing like a 3 minute pose and so forth. They become very difficult to do in a 3 minute pose, you know, and so it gets very challenging. Yeah, I'm not gonna get this one done either. There's too much like playing around with. I gotta He's like arching his back. His shoulders are tight and timid, and then he's got like foreshortening here, so you can see his. I don't even think I got this right. I don't think I got the legs and hands. I don't know. So he's got this hand here, like this, and then something like that, He's on his hair is flat. His, that something like that. It's just an awkward pose. I'm not lying when I say I get all these weird poses because this guy's doing a weird arching his back type thing, and he's like, yeah, he's arching his back and so forth, and his head is holding. Yeah, it's an awkward pose here. Anyways, that is it for that one. One more. I got one more in me, and then we're gonna call it a day. Um, yeah, I don't really know what to talk about with this idea because I just felt like I really did feel like I wasn't doing anything what I was supposed to be doing. I was getting in my head and trying. It's really difficult to get out. I think people there's it's a very big problem, man, to like just pull yourself out of that like psychological like just rut, and it can be very hard. I can completely understand how people can be in that situation, but what I don't understand, to me, is that you should be able to get yourself out. There's always a way. You just got to keep pushing through. And I hate saying like not like pushing through, but like you just gotta focus on it, and you got to keep trying to get yourself out. You don't want to give in to those negative thoughts. um, Another thing that helps is to kind of just do things throughout the day, just be active, put yourself in the state of motion. um, because if you're moving, you don't have a lot of time to kind of dwell on like, oh, I feel sad. You don't have the luxury to be like sad because you're so busy being in motion that it's impossible to have all these negative thoughts kind of pop up in your head. So that's one thing I tend to try to do sometimes is I try to put myself in a state of motion. It doesn't always well work. There's always going to be like these there's always going to be something that slows you down, right? There's always going to be a a negative thought here or there pulling you, and it's always going to take a little bit of time to get out of it. I'm not discrediting that it's going to take some time to get out of this some of these negative vibes that we have from time to time. It's not easy. It's not like it's going to happen immediately, but all I can say is you got to keep trying to pull yourself out of it. A lot of us won't even try. We're in this state of like negativity, and then we let like all of it. We let all these thoughts kind of pull us away from the positive in our lives. We let it happen, and we don't want, and like it's almost like we don't want it to happen. Oh, this is a bad day. So yeah, so that's it for the day. I really got to get going. I'm going to spend a few more minutes on this one. Probably going to spend about 10-20 seconds on it, just kind of fiddling around with it. And then give him his arm. you know I made his nose too big, and this is supposed to be like all in cast shadow. And then there's this arm right here. Today was a rough day. This drawing is rough. Like everything was rough today. Like my idea of like the notion of talking through these ideas was a little tense. I wasn't able to really process them, explain it well enough, in my opinion. Um, Yeah, I didn't do a good job. But you got to keep chugging along, and you can't dwell on it, you know? If I had dwelled on all my live all the like my failed live streams or my failed drawings, I would have never gotten through. I would never have gotten through the first 10 because they were all bad. And even now, I still have bad ones. Like this one's not great, right? There's been some ones that are just like so good, like everything, like the drawings themselves are good. The drawings and the conversation are really good. And whenever I get to whenever I have those particular live streams, I really, really am happy that I kept going at it, because sometimes there's ones like like for instance, this day, today, not a good one. Right? I think I kind of stumbled along trying to kind of talk about this concept of not dwelling on things, and I think I kind of fell short. But what's going to be a good example of not dwelling on things is I'm not going to dwell on this. I'll move on, and I'll be better for it. I'm going to move on and go ahead and just keep working. Um, just like I'm not going to be so upset about these drawings not being that good, right? But yeah, and it's there's always going to be like with these live streams and doing these figure drawings, where I only do figure drawing every 3 days a week. It's usually like the first day is going to be like rough because I haven't drawn the figure in a few days, and then the second and third days are a little bit better because I've kind of practiced already. I've gotten some of those reps in. So, anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by. I gotta put this timer off. I got to get going. I got a long day ahead of me, and hopefully next time I do this, I'll have some better drawings. I'm still trying to speed up, but like I'm trying to speed up the drawing process, but it's hard to do that when you're trying to draw the figure structurally at the very beginning, and I noticed that at this current drawing session is I was really slow to kind of figure out the angles of the figure, and I was actually heavy handed. I was pressing the lines on a little bit heavier than I should have. But it is what it is, and you just got to keep chugging. You don't want to dwell on these things. And I'm going to figure out how I can kind of meld these concepts that I've been thinking about um, before I do a live stream. So maybe what I might need to do is come up with a theme or come up with a theme for the live stream, like a talking point theme, and write out ideas for 10 minutes, write out those thoughts for 10 minutes. And then I'll have something a little bit more something I can articulate a little bit better and provide a little bit more value, because art to me is it's more like a spiritual thing rather than like a social like thing. It's more spiritual because it's a you versus you thing, and there is certain aspects of art that help me get my life in order or get my day in order, because you have to, in order to be a successful artist or in order to get drawings done, you have to have a good structure, like daily structure. You can't just like wing it, and get a lot done. So that's why I kind of talk about like time management and just kind of talk about these things on a more of a like psychological level. But I do feel like I'm failing in that regard, and hitting the head with the nail of the head with my hammer. Right, I'm feeling like I'm missing the target a bit. So, anyways, I gotta get going. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for dropping by. This is Pierson. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world, and you are watching 500 Days of Drawing, day 402. Catch you later. Cheers.